Namaste, beautiful. Welcome to practice. Right now we are going to be practicing high lunge with a twist. So revolved high lunge and revolved crescent lunge. Okay, so because this is twisting is something that is a bit deeper, then it's particularly important that we are warmed up before we go into this. So if you have not yet warmed up your body today, then I recommend doing so, and if you would like to follow one of the classes that I have for that, then you may. If you are already warmed up, then let's go ahead and start. So, I have already put up a class on high lunge, so if you have any questions about how to get into high lunge, then maybe you can reference that first. Otherwise, we can just go ahead and get into it. So our front leg, the front foot is going to be facing forward. Our back foot is facing the same direction, and we want a 90-degree angle as much as possible in our front leg. And so when we're lining up, we're going to be lining up from the bottom to the top, right? So we make sure our feet are the right way, we make sure our ankle is supported, we make sure our knee is supported, and then we come to our hips. So our hips, we want to be both facing forward, so we want to be square in our hips. And then our back leg is so as if like we were standing with our feet maybe about hip width distance apart. That's how our feet should be, right? So as if we just moved our foot back from there, yeah? And so once we are here, then we are finding our twist, right? So then we're twisting, but we're keeping, we're mostly keeping the lower body in the same way. But we can be bringing our left or our back hip forward more, right, because we're twisting. So it actually helps to kind of like square the hips, right? And so then we come to our twist. So both of our shoulders are trying to be facing the opposite direction of how we were before. So away, right? And we are making sure that we're not bringing our knee in. We're keeping it nice and in line with our ankle. So our knee is above our ankle, right? And we're coming up high off the floor with our heel. And I'm getting off of that because my legs were starting to burn. Yeah, and so that is our revolved high lunge. Let's try it on the other side. So coming forward, getting that nice 90-degree angle with our front leg. We want our knee to be over our ankle, our foot to be facing forward, and our back leg is as if we stepped back with our hips, with our feet hip width distance apart. And then we are finding our twist. So we are reaching arms out and twisting, pulling back with the front hip, pulling forward, or pulling back with the hip of the front leg, pulling forward with the hip of the back leg. And our heel is up off the floor. And we're feeling really nice. And then we can come out. Woo! All right, let's move down to Revolved Crescent. So there's a few different ways to do this, right? So there's that involve different amounts of mobility in your hips mostly, right? So we'll start with our back foot off of the floor. So we come back to that lunge, the same one that we were in before, right? This high lunge. But now we're gonna reach our, here, face this way. And so now we're taking, so let's just be on our right leg so I can say right and left, yeah. So we're taking our left elbow, we're reaching it to hook around the right knee, and then we reach to the floor if we can. We can also have a block here, right, if we can't quite reach the floor, but what we're aiming for is reaching for the floor with the left hand, keeping the knee so that it's over the ankle, not letting it fall in. And then we can take the top arm, the right arm, and reach it over the head. So this is Ashtanga style. We can be reaching it up. We can reach it back, right? And so we want our hips, again, such that they are square, kind of. All right, we don't want to be like falling back like this. We're kind of trying to pull the back one forward a bit and the front one back a bit. Yeah? So we have our revolve here. Woo! Ah. That's a lot on the legs. All right, let's try the other side. Okay. So let's again find our lunge here, making our knee in line with our ankle, facing our front foot forward, coming back on to our toes on the back leg, and then we're reaching our right elbow, hooking it over the left knee, reaching down toward the floor if we can with the front arm, pulling back on the front hip, pulling forward on the back hip, and reaching the top arm up overhead. You can look toward the top arm. We can have that top arm up, back, find what feels nice. Woo! Let's take a little break. Shake, shake, shake. Okay. But we're not done because we have to actually show the full Ashtanga style. Is actually with the back foot rotated 45 degrees. So let's go ahead and try that one out. Okay, so let's come to as we were before. So into our high lunge, but now we're going to drop the back foot and just feel it at about 45 degrees. Or check back and look at it. Okay, so you can feel that, woo, that is much more intense in the ankle, and definitely this is my injured ankle. You can feel it more in the hips too, right? It's harder to square out the hips when we have that back leg, when we have our heel on the floor, yeah? But if we can do so, then we can go back into our twist here. So still making sure that the knee is over the ankle, and we're trying to bring some of our weight to the outside of the back foot. Now you reach the arm overhead. Whoa, a nice twist here. Pulling back on the front hip, forward on the back hip. Whoa, yeah. Oh, that feels nice. Okay, let's try it on the other side. So again, finding our lunge, dropping the back heel, turning the toes out 45 degrees, and then we're trying to keep the hips square when we come into the lunge here, yeah? So square, square, square in our hips. Our left knee is over our left ankle, and then we take our twist. Woo! We bring the right elbow to the left knee. We continue to pull forward with the right hip and back with the left. We reach our right hand to the floor, and we reach our left hand overhead. Look toward the left hand. Yum. All right, and there we have it. If you would like to proceed with a bind, I just filmed that video, so it'll probably go up soon after this one. Probably is already gonna be up by the time you watch. Yeah, so you can go ahead and learn that if you're ready, or you can keep working on this. Yeah. It's been an honor and pleasure to guide you today. Thank you for being here with me, for trusting me. Love and namaste.